evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, a train derailment near Reagan National Airport suspends Metro subway service on the blue and yellow lines between Potomac Yard and National Airport. About 40 passengers were aboard the train when it derailed about 10:45 a.m.
Preliminary review shows there was an object on the tracks, and that initially appears to be the cause of the incident. There is no evidence that this is a security-related incident at all, but it does look like the foreign object caused an impact when the wheel of the train hit that train.
And no injuries were reported. Well, Metro is warning of potential layoffs, a hiring freeze, and devastating service cuts if progress isn't made to close a projected $750 million budget gap. While the cuts would not take effect until next year, the transit agency says it may have to issue layoff notices this winter. ATU Local 689 President Raymond Jackson says he's telling members to live on what they can afford.
Live what your paycheck can afford on a 40-hour work week. If you are able to work some overtime, put that money in the bank, because you never know when times are going to get hard.
And WMATA says to close the budget gap, they may have to cut services by 67%. Well, according to new numbers released today by the White House, 3.5 million federal workers will go without pay if the government shuts down. This comes as the House struggles to push through spending bills that would keep the government open in the new fiscal year. So how would a shutdown affect Maryland? Comptroller Brooke Learman says that depends on how long the shutdown lasts.
If the federal government does shut down, the impact to the state government will depend on how long the shutdown is and the deal that ends the shutdown. So any full or partial shutdown in federal operations could mean delayed paychecks for federal employees and contractors. That could result in a slowdown in state tax receipts and reduced economic activity statewide. We will keep a close eye on it because any compromise that would dramatically reduce federal spending would have an outsized impact on Maryland.
Meantime, Prince George's County is providing a list of resources for furloughed federal workers. You can visit princegeorgescountymd.gov for details. Well, 43-year-old mother of two from Upper Marlboro is dead, and now police need your help finding the suspect. Courtney Blasher was found shot to death in her fourth-floor apartment in the 200 block of Harry S. Truman Drive on Thursday around 4 p.m. Her family says the single mother worked hard as a Metro bus driver to provide for her two sons. The case remains under investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to contact police. Well, the longest-serving female in U.S. Senate history has died. 90-year-old Dianne Feinstein passed away Thursday at her home in D.C. after months of declining health. Feinstein was one of the Senate's most prominent women, having served 3 decades as a senator from California. Prior to that, she served as mayor of San Francisco. Today, colleagues paid tribute to the lawmaker.
Dianne Feinstein would typically say, when you asked her how was she voting on something, "Let me study this issue before taking a position. Let me go home and read on it."
So many of us, especially in the city and county of San Francisco, will miss her dearly. It wasn't just because of the work she did. It was because of the love and the compassion that she shared for so many people.
As the nation mourns this tremendous loss, we're comforted in knowing how many mountains Dianne moved, how many lives she impacted, how many glass ceilings she shattered along the way.
And California's Democratic governor will have to appoint a lawmaker to serve out the rest of Feinstein's term. That will likely keep a Democratic majority in the chamber through January 2025. Well, an arrest has been made in connection with the murder of hip-hop icon Tupac Shakur. Las Vegas police arrested Dwayne Davis early this morning. Although exact charges were not immediately known, Davis has admitted in interviews that he was in the Cadillac where gunfire erupted in 1996 that killed Shakur on the Las Vegas Strip. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
After my wife died, it was like I lost myself too. I didn't feel like doing anything or seeing anyone. Then my granddaughter called to say she misses me, and I realized I had to make a change. I got referred to a psychiatrist, and she explained depression can happen to anyone. I'm learning that getting help for my depression doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Welcome back. Well, Maryland's controversial school superintendent may have recently resigned, but he's not going anywhere. Mohammed Chowdhury will become a senior advisor to the State Board of Education beginning October 7th and will serve until June 2024. News of Chowdhury's new role comes days after the board announced the formation of a seven-member committee to conduct a national search for his replacement. The state board, unlike local school boards, lacks the authority to buy out an employee's contract. The Archdiocese of Baltimore files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection just days before it likely faces a horde of child sex abuse lawsuits. The action comes before a new law takes effect on Sunday that eliminates the statute of limitations for victims of sexual abuse to file lawsuits. Survivors of child sex abuse say this is an attempt to stifle their voices and limit the Catholic Church's economic damages.
Effectively, they will short-circuit the intent of the Maryland legislature by filing bankruptcy. And that is just, to me, that's unethical at best, that they are using bankruptcy to circumvent the intent of the Maryland legislature.
And the new law also raises a cap on non-economic damages to $1.5 million per incident, and it does not cap economic or punitive damages. Well, it has been nearly a year since workers at Mom's Organic Market voted to organize at its College Park location. It's the third Mom's Organic Market to unionize under the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, Local 400. On Saturday, a rally is planned outside the College Park location. Mom's employee Laura Jackson spoke with Byron Scott about the unionization efforts and the rally.
Talk about the efforts to unionize the moms. What was that like?
Sure. Thank you for asking. So we formed the union in December of last year, and we've been in contract negotiations since then.
And so was it difficult to organize at the moms?
Everyone was really excited to unionize, and they voted overwhelmingly to do so. But during that time, we were really disappointed in the way that Scott Nash and his company reacted to it, which is through discrimination, such as folks being wrongfully terminated and given disciplinary actions for organizing. So it's been, a long road.
So the issues as you see it that are bringing you to the protest on Saturday, what are those issues?
The issues from the beginning, since before we formed the union, were we want livable wages and we want protections against discrimination.
I know this is the third moms to unionize, if I'm correct, in Maryland. Mm-hmm. Are they ever to unionize other mom stores?
Oh, absolutely. We've been talking to all the workers at all the stores. Everyone's overwhelmingly excited, but they are worried about getting discriminated against because they've heard our stories from the College Park store, the Hampton and Timonium stores as well.
So I know Saturday is the rally. Talk about when, where, and why.
Yeah, that's right. So it's this Saturday, September 30th at 11 a.m. It's at the Mom's College Park location in the parking lot. That address is 9801 Rhode Island Avenue in College Park, Maryland. We're having it as a response to the retaliation that workers have been facing at our store. People are unhappy, they're scared, they want the union because they need a livable wage and they need to be protected at work.
So in terms of the rally, which will be very visible, who are you trying to reach?
We're trying to reach our immediate community, which honestly, they're already in so much support of us and our union. They've shown our support by wearing stickers in the store. They've reached out to us asking how they can help. And so we want to give their community an opportunity to really come out and show their support.
And that rally again, 11 o'clock.
11 a.m. this Saturday, September 30th at Mom's College Park.
And the College Park Mom's Organic Market is at 9801 Rhode Island Avenue. Well, September is African Heritage Month in Prince George's, and to recognize the month, there was a business roundtable in Largo today to give minority business owners an opportunity to network. Samuel Iwu is with the Office of the County Executive.
This is part of a program for recognizing the African Heritage Month. The county executive has been putting together, since she got in, a series of business roundtables, trying to reach out to different immigrant population in the county. So this is an event for business owners of African origin to get to know what the county has to offer and how to access those resources in the county.
And as we told you yesterday, former Seat Pleasant Mayor Eugene Grant is set to launch a new program aimed at better health outcomes for the county's elderly citizens. Grant is expected to launch his Digital Equity Initiative tomorrow during a health and fitness expo at the City of Praise Family Ministries in Landover. Grant's Health Empowerment Network of Maryland will help bring broadband access and health services to people in need.
And for example, we have what is called a health unit, mobile unit, that goes to the communities, to individuals that will go into the home to set up a computer to allow them to do a telehealth visit with their physician or their specialist. If they don't want us to come into their home, they can come on to the unit and be able to be in a safe and secure environment that's HIPAA compliant to converse with their primary care physician or, like I said, a specialist.
And Grant says they will begin offering services by mid-November. As for the Health Expo, it runs from 10 to 3 p.m. at the City of Praise. And now here's Simon Buggs with sports.
All right, everyone, it's time for your Friday sports page. We'll start with some NFL news. The Washington Commanders will try and bounce back this weekend after a blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills. Washington struggled offensively, coming up with only 3 points in the loss. Offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy spoke yesterday and says he did see some positives in the loss.
Sometimes we can get caught up in the moment of what took place. But when you go back at it, obviously it's still ugly. But there is some good that we did. And I've been in this league now as a coach and a player for over 30 years. The unfortunate thing, sometimes you have bad days, and it happens. Now, okay, the only thing I'm measuring is to see how we respond.
On defense, Commanders rookie Emmanuel Forbes has been playing well, having 1 pick and 3 tackles for loss over the first 3 weeks. And defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio wants Forbes to continue to remain competitive.
He's gaining experience each and every week. Come out and compete. That's what I want to see. Prepare well and compete. It's really, I don't want to see anything different from him than I want to see from all our guys. Dig into the game plan, really understand your opponent, make sure that you're playing fast to your responsibilities, and go out and have fun. Let it rip.
The Commanders go up against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Washington Wizards season is drawing near.
We have a handful of veteran guys. Jordan Poole's won a championship, at age 24. Kuz has won a championship, and, he's 27, 28. Tyus has played in meaningful games, high-level playoff games. He still, to me, is a young vet. So I think the mixture of that group, and that's probably what excites me most.
And wrapping up sports, congratulations to the Baltimore Orioles for becoming AL East champions last night. This came after the Birds beat the Boston Red Sox 2-0.
Everybody grab something. Nobody gave us a chance to start this year. Nobody. That's 100 wins right there. That's 100 wins on our first step. We just won the AL East.
And that is...
All right, and that's it for our news tonight. Have a great weekend.